A fresh start for Stafford Hospital with massive investment and a new name. More details in a moment.
Now the latest ITV News Central with Bob Warman and Samina Ali Khan.
Hello, tonight's top stories on Tuesday's programme. More money and a new name for Stafford Hospital.
It's an historic investment and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're investing over £250 million.
The schools targeted by Trojan horse takeover allegations that Ofsted say still haven't improved.
I've always said that if the audience is dwindling and I don't want to hear my music anymore, that's a good sign when you say, hang my mic up now.
And Ozzy Osbourne on why he's not quitting the music business.
And I'll be finding out about the living piece of history that's in need of your help.
Good evening. Stafford Hospital is to be renamed as part of a £250 million investment in healthcare. 24-hour A&E will not return to the newly renamed hospital, but existing services will be enhanced. Stoke's main hospital will also be renamed the Royal Stoke University Hospital.
There'll be extra beds, new operating theatres and 300 new parking spaces. Wesley Smith is at the camp set up by people campaigning to save services there. And Wesley, let's start with the new name for Stafford Hospital. What is it?
Well, the word Stafford is to be eradicated from the title altogether. Henceforth, this will be known as the County Hospital. Now, the new investment promises significant improvements here. But the people from the Support Stafford campaign, well, that was set up, of course, to preserve A&E services. They're not convinced. More from them in a moment. But first, a look at the key points of what they're calling 2025 vision. The Support Stafford campaigners have always said they want the best local services. This was the moment they gathered to hear news of the big changes ahead. The management here admit the name Stafford Hospital had become toxic, synonymous with patient deaths, poor care and scandal. That's made it difficult to recruit new staff and has shaken public confidence. Nighttime A&E is no more and is unlikely to return in the foreseeable future. But £250 million is being spent here, shared with the newly renamed Royal Stoke University Hospital.
We're rebranding all of our hospitals and the name of the trust today in an effort to ensure that we have a fresh start. We can attract the world's best people to come to work, learn and research here in Staffordshire and develop new services which we hope will attract more staff into the county.
In Stafford, A&E refurbishment will see double the present space. There's to be a new MRI scanner, a midwife-led maternity unit with modern birthing pool and new services including eye surgery. In Stoke, improvements include a new 28-bed children's ward, a new orthopaedic centre, 64 additional beds and 300 extra car parking spaces.
It's a new beginning for us. It's a new trust. There are fantastic nurses here at Stafford Hospital and we want to welcome them into our family of nursing across the new trust to deliver the best care possible for the people of Staffordshire as a whole.
However, acute and major inpatient surgery will move from Stafford to Stoke, a distance of approaching 20 miles. Inpatient paediatric services will also transfer, along with medium-risk maternity services. That's been a major concern for people here on the camp. So what's the Trust's message to them?
We need to move forward. There are some real benefits for patients, real benefits for staff in these proposals, and I'd like us to move ahead with those together.
How soon will you be asking them to leave the site?
I hope we won't have to ask them to leave the site. I believe, in the discussions we've had, is that they have had a good campaign, they've had a strong campaign, we've had the discussions with them, and I believe that in the discussions with them we'll talk to them about how we move together.
The timetable is set out in this document called 2025 Vision. The slogan the new University Hospitals of North Midlands NHS Trust is working to is being a place our families would choose. Well, Julian Porter is with me now from the Support Stafford campaign. Would this be a place that you would choose to bring your family in future?
Unfortunately, with with the cuts that they're doing, the services that would be needed by my family, which is children's, well, the paediatric department's going, and then maternity, no consultant cover for maternity, A&E being closed overnight, and any serious things, they call it an A&E, but it's more like going to be an urgent care because they're taking away the services behind.
So is the camp going to stay in place?
The camp will stay in place until we can get some reassurances that there's risk assessments being done for the movement of these services that we need here.
Julian Porter, thank you very much indeed. The name changes are supposed to take place from the 1st of November, and after that a gradual bringing in of the new services over the next few months.
Wesley Smith, thank you very much.
Police investigating the deaths of a mother and her 2 young daughters in Stoke-on-Trent have released a 27-year-old man without charge and say they're not looking for anyone else. The bodies of Marta Galikowska and her 2 daughters, 5-year-old Maya and 1-year-old Olga, were discovered at a house on Sherwin Road in the Stanfields area on Sunday night. Police say they're dealing with a tragic incident and are providing support to relatives.
The Chief Inspector of Hospitals has recommended Valley NHS Trust in Herefordshire is placed in special measures after it received an inadequate overall inspection rating. Hereford County Hospital was rated as inadequate by Care Quality Commission inspectors, whereas Valley Community Health Services was given a requires improvement. The Trust say their action plan in response to the findings is already in place and includes new A&E investment and more nurse recruitment.
5 failing schools in Birmingham involved in the alleged Trojan horse takeover plot have still not improved, according to inspectors.
Ofsted conducted unannounced visits at 5 schools last month and concluded their action plans are still not fit for purpose. Our reporter Victoria Davis has been looking through the findings, and Victoria, what else did the inspectors actually discover?
Well, the inspections by Ofsted revealed there are still significant problems at the 5 Birmingham schools since they were placed in special measures in June. The schools are Golden Hillock, Nansen Primary and Parkview Academy, all run by Parkview Educational Trust, as well as Old Know Academy and Saltley School. They were inspected last year following reports of an alleged Muslim takeover plot known as Trojan Horse. At the start of September, an unannounced inspection took place to check on the school's progress, and today those findings were released. All the schools were told by Ofsted that their action and improvement plans were not fit for purpose. Ofsted revealed that at Parkview Academy little had been done to tackle segregation and to encourage boys and girls to sit together in lessons. At Golden Hillock School, inspectors said safeguarding remained a significant concern, and at Old Know Academy it was revealed that some staff didn't trust one another, while teachers at Saltley School had told inspectors they were concerned that some staff segregated themselves into groups based on their religious beliefs. Well, following the findings, the government was heavily criticised by the Shadow Minister for Schools.
Many months have passed now since these revelations came to light, which frankly horrified many people to think this could be going on in publicly funded schools in our country. Some of the practice totally unacceptable, and yet it appears that the problems haven't really been dealt with and the schools haven't really been turned round in terms of getting rid of these sorts of practices. And I think the government really needs to act urgently now to ensure that it acts on what the Chief Inspector has said in this report.
Well, the Department of Education described the inspection as a snapshot and says it's confident change will be rapid and effective with the strong leadership teams that have been put in place. Birmingham City Council says things have moved on since the inspection, while Parkview Educational Trust says students are no longer segregated.
Victoria, thank you very much. Floodwater has been causing traffic chaos on a busy underpass in Birmingham throughout the day, leaving many motorists stuck in miles of traffic. The A34 near Perry Bar was closed after several inches of floodwater failed to drain away. Some drivers used social media to say they still hadn't reached their destination 4 hours on. The City Council said the fault was down to a power failure which stopped the pumps working.
Now, amongst Birmingham's population of just over 1 million, some 287,000 are under the age of 19. That's a staggering 28%. Now Birmingham City Council has commissioned the Children's Society to discover what those young people want and need from their hometown and to find out what they like or dislike about it.
The survey, called It Takes a City to Raise a Child, questioned almost 1,000 young people aged from 5 to 18. And it seems that nearly all of them value the same things. They say that family relationships are the most important thing in their lives.
They value the opportunities that education can give them.
They all want the skills to become good citizens of the future.
That means they need their voices to be heard and their opinions to be valued.
And young people want a positive story to be told about their city.
However, it's not all good. There are instances of child poverty, poor mental and physical health, and feelings of being excluded from certain activities.
Well, in a moment, we'll hear from the City Council and the Birmingham Children's Commission, who compiled the survey. But first, here are the thoughts of one Birmingham youngster.
I'm Annessa McDowell. I'm 15 years old and I've lived in Birmingham all my life. I often walk through parks on the way home, especially Small Leaf Park or Farm Park. I feel like because of my past experiences, like being robbed before, I always have to have eyes at the back of my head in the way I walk, and I feel that parks are not safe because people don't have much to do, they don't have nothing to do, so they just go to somewhere like a park and they're in a gang, so you always have to have that sense of eyes at the back of your head. Certain times I've gone into a shop and there might be 3, 4 of us, and he's like, no, 3 of yous get out, it can be 1, it can only be 2, and it's like, when you kind of have that constantly in your head, like, you're bad, teenagers are bad, then people just, they feel like, what's the point of me trying to behave, what's the point of me trying to do something with my life if people are going to constantly, expect me to be a certain way. Concord's a youth centre. It's like my second home. I feel relaxed here. I feel like I can express myself. Even though we're all different, like every single child that comes here, you'll get somebody that maybe loves to go to the library, and you'll get someone that's not really good at reading, but somehow in here everyone connects, everyone's the same. I think there should be a lot more places like this that support you and are there for you, and they enable you to feel like you can succeed anything really.